Hello, everyone. My name is Antoine Hunter PurpleFireCrow. I am so blessed to be here with you. Happy Saturday, April 16th, 2022. Now, before we get into things, I'll go ahead and provide my visual description. I have dark milk chocolate skin, got it from my mama, beautiful woman. I have ebony locks. I have an ebony bushy beard. I have a black shirt on with an emblem of deaf, hashtag deaf woke. I have a red long banner background, and I'm here in Oakland, California, loving you all. I also want to introduce our two fabulous interpreters who will be with us today. So come on down. Yeah, it's good to see you, Jay. Good to see you as well. I'm so blessed to also have Glashonda. I really appreciate you guys being here supporting us. Keep on representing. All right, peace. Those are amazing and beautiful people. Do you agree? We've had so many wonderful episodes here, uh, Deaf Woke, different conversations. A few days ago, we had a conversation, about a black man's journey, capturing his dreams. And all of these stories are so impactful. But today's story, I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. So we have an incredible guest coming on our show today. She's a proud mother of three beautiful children. She's married to a famous deaf actor who's quite busy himself, but it's never a dull moment at home. There's something always going on in their lives. And now she's engaging herself in becoming a published author. And her book is coming soon, In Heaven's Eyes. Now, I don't want to give too much away just yet, so I'm going to bring her on. Her name is Kimberly Snipe. Hey, hey.
Hi. You're right. There's never a dull moment in our home. That's the perfect description. Hi.
I'm so happy you're here today. I know I saw you dance a little bit. Come on. My first question for you is, how you doing?
I am doing fine. I'm recovering from a cold, but I am doing fine. God is good and I cannot complain.
Oh, wow. You could be in bed right now, resting, but you're here
Yeah.
with us. So thank you so much. In our pre-show, we were discussing a little bit about your book. Now, do you have? I know I was given a sign, but do you have a book? The sign for your book?
Yep, it's like this in heaven's eyes.
Let's talk about your book a little bit.
Well, first I'll go ahead and describe myself. Yes. Hello, beautiful people out there. My name is Kimberly Snipe, and this is my sign name because I have very curly hair. I have it pulled back today in a ball bun, and I have glasses on. I'm Portuguese descent. I also have on 3/4 length black sweater shirt, and I'm sitting in front of a white wall, and I have a necklace that hangs in front of my chest. I am so thrilled to be here with you, beautiful people. Yes. Okay, so a little bit about my book. It's really been an interesting journey, my life experience and the story that I share in that book. And many times people have said to me, "You should write a book about these things." And I was resistant. Um, and finally, when we were involved with filming for a show, I decided I'll go ahead and take on that extra burden and I'll write this book. And so it's really an opportunity that I could not miss. I went ahead and wrote the book, and it was about a year's worth of time writing.
A
A lot of
year.
heartbreak. Yes, yes. I'm not gonna tell all. I'm not gonna tell all, but there are many chapters in that book.
I do have to ask though, why so long?
Well, it was really hard to confront those memories and those experiences. I cried often, but I didn't wanna give up, and honestly, I didn't wanna write the book either, but it was a healing process, and so finally, I went ahead and wrote in English. You know how I feel about English. I'd rather sign it and have someone else write it for me, but I had to sit down and work through, those English, tidbits to get the book done. And so that journey about my birth and my experiences and having God in my life and God's perspective. Um, and so I can't just always say me, me, me. No, there's a two-way street. And so there are different situations in my life and in my journey that happened along the way that I had to address from God's perspective. And so don't get fooled by the book's cover. It's my childhood memories and also my vision of my home. And my daughter helped to illustrate and do some of that for me. And so I was writing, and my brother recognized something from there. He's like, "Oh my God, that is exactly it." And we high fived one another because I explained about that memory. And so when they read the book, it was just so detailed and clear. And it can apply to womanhood, it can apply to teenage years, to marriage life, black, white, it doesn't matter. It's quite versatile. It can meet anyone at their situation in life.
And you talking about, having to confront the, that pain over writing that book. How did you take care of yourself during this process? What made you n- continue? What made you, not give up?
Well, a lot of prayer and a lot of conversations with God. Like, seriously, you want me to write this book? Seriously? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? There were many nights that I couldn't sleep and I tossed and turned. Um, and I had to confront family members and let them know, to be prepared because I didn't want them to be surprised. And what I wanted to share in much detail in this book, I wanted to have their blessing to do that. And so that helped me to be able to move forward with that decision. And so names in the book, of course, have been changed for privacy reasons. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so you're authentic, but you kind of had to kind of mirror those names, and but it's who you are. It's your story. What was your biggest fear, or maybe reticent from writing the book?
Really, it was facing my demons, facing the past. Even in that experience, I had to learn to give those problems to God. They're not mine anymore. And also to focus on forgiveness. I can't just be isolated and addressing these feelings I have to let it go. I have to move forward. And it's hard. Everything, that I could be as a mother and as a wife and wanted to protect my family and, you know, face those monsters.
Let's go back in time a little bit. Some people think you might be from Oakland, California, but you're not. So where are you from?
I am from New England, baby. Yes.
Cool, cool. And I know we want to give people the opportunity of reading the book and not give them too much information in this interview, not go into too much. However, it's really an important conversation, a conversation about you, your life's journey, and trying to find your identity, your place. Now, how do you identify yourself today? Who are you?
Well, I identify as a deaf woman that's Portuguese and Puerto Rican descent. I'm proud mama as
Yes,
well.
that was so smooth too. Woo.
I mean, it took me a while to finally embrace that and be confident about that.
Yeah, did you kind of identify and accept who you were growing up?
I always knew that I was Portuguese. I knew that my family is Portuguese and I was the only deaf person. But as time went on, I learned more about my family tree. And as a mother, I have baby books, and typically it's a story of our kids' lives. And so seeing the parents in the family tree, I realized that my family tree was empty in that aspect. And it was so complicated. And so when my kids wanted to know about me growing up, I didn't know how to answer. And everything just felt so difficult in that aspect of who am I and who came before me. And so this concept of baby books and taking the time to learn about and figure out who I am, learning about my birth father and that he passed away. And so that was a missed opportunity to meet him, which was unfortunate. And also becoming okay with it, that was another experience. And so I'm Puerto Rican, yay. But do I know about Puerto Rican food? I've never really been exposed to any of that stuff. So,
That's how I come on, getting more of that culture. Last year, were you impacted by COVID?
yes.
Being kind of isolated and stuck at home. Did that kind of help with the writing process?
Yes and no. And so currently I'm a student at Liberation University, and so that's online, and that has been even before COVID. My husband and I, we were both asked to write a book together. And so we thought, okay, we can talk about this and write about our marriage and put that in a book. And as time went along, the publishing company contacted us and they said, we want each of you to write a book individually. And my husband said, see, I told you. And I was like, God really wants me to write my own story, which is his story, using me to send along his message. And so there are some things I wanted to keep hidden, which was not easy. I had friends who would proofread it and say, I never knew this about you. You're always open and sharing, but I don't. And so the world would know? Was I ready for them to know about all of these things? So it took a lot of thinking on my part. It was interesting.
I can imagine that process, trying to find the words, trying to, finding a way to articulate yourself, and where you would be identified. So you had some help with kind of modification, editing. Did you give that book to the editor, and then did they make significant changes? Did you agree with their modifications or changes, or were you kind of at odds at time?
Well, thank the Lord that we have opportunities to agree or reject, and we have the ultimate decision. And so that definitely requires some back and forth. Um, Sometimes you have a ghostwriter involved, who doesn't know your style and the way you want to phrase certain things, and so they don't really know me well. And I would look at something and say, "Nah, that's not me. Here's a better way to phrase this that better matches who I am," and send it back to them. So that type of process happened. Um, but yes, they read the book in detail.
Right. Yes, it's your words, it's your experiences. It's not kind of, somebody else's, fancy or bougie words in which that maybe are not applicable to you.
Right.
Did you find and connect with one editor, or did it take some trial and error?
Yes, one editor, but a lot of back and forth with that one editor.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize editors can be tough.
Yes.
Plus expending, especially being that, being deaf, and then you're working with them, and then they'll just drop you. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I've had experience working with people who, just kind of dropped me. Well, no word, just yeah,
One thing I would say is follow your heart and be authentic. Don't follow what society and the culture expects you to do.
yes. I know you had mentioned to be cautious about the kind of the cover of your book. And so what about the cover? How did that come about? Can you give a little bit more?
So the front cover of the book, children are think people think childhood is pleasant, but actually, when you're behind closed doors, there are a lot of things that go on. And so my life journey um, was different. I don't just have a biological family. I have all these other aspects that you all can read and find out more about. Um, but my journey now, even my kids don't know what happened back then and about this part of my family and that part of my family. But when they read the book, they will find out soon. And so my oldest is 17, and I was worried about her reading because she likes to protect mom, and things that happen to me and other people, I don't want those things to happen to my kids. I want them to know how to fight their battles too. And so people think everything is all fine and dandy, but no, not always. We do have flaws as well.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Writing a book, or making a movie, we tend to try to kind of keep our kids keep that information locked away so our kids don't get the opportunity of accessing it. But what you're doing is you're giving that information to your kids just to show you who you are. This is who you are.
Yes.
This is where it got you to where you are today.
Yes, you're right. And I'm realizing that they're not as young anymore either.
You said you had 3 kids, yeah?
Yes. The oldest son is 17, my daughter is 14, and the youngest is 10, also a girl. And you're right, there's never a dull moment. My son is involved in sports and theater and all these other activities.
Yes.
My youngest is loud and diva all the way. So, yes, whew,
Oh, you said diva.
yes, divas, the last two, both of them.
I wonder where they get it from.
Uh, uh, I wonder too.
I imagine you're probably the soccer mom type. You're at all of their events.
Yes, I do go to sports, track, football. I am the number one fan and the number one cheerleader. I used to be a cheerleader in high school and in Gallaudet, and my kids would look at me like, "Oh, mom, stop." Yeah, I'm the cheerleader.
No, you're right. Now, kids, I'm not the chill mom. I gotta make it loud. And your book is incredible. It's about following your dreams.
It's funny because I didn't tell my family initially. I waited for it to actually get to the advertising stage, and then I showed it to my kids, and they were shocked and didn't really know how to react. And they were like, "Really? Wow, we're proud of you." And my daughter was like, "All these pictures? Why are you taking all these pictures?" And I would never say why. I would just be posing for pictures. And so now they're looking forward to it and they're excited. And I also think they're a little bit nervous because they don't know what they're going to find when they read the book. But they are my number one fans. They are proud of me. And I'm like, wow, thank you. Thank you, my kids.
Yes, 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 yes. When you were growing up, what was your dreams and aspirations?
Well, just a little taste of the beginning of my story. My childhood was not easy, it's quite tough. I had a lot of dark experiences in my lifetime. I had three different families that I moved through. And really, I lost the sense of where I belonged and who am I and what's the point of life. I really felt, why am I alive? Why am I on this earth? I wasn't happy. But as time went on, I felt safe at school. School was my safe space, not at home. Nothing about home was saved. It was exhausting, it was ugly, it was full of hardship. But most people would, look up to me, not realizing what was happening behind closed doors. I was being harmed. And so going through that experience, I think it was around middle school or high school that I started to see the sunshine and I started to have hope just simply by having an interpreter take me to an experience to see what family was like, that it could be loving, it can be empathetic, and my home was not those things. My life was like having these expectations that were set and demanding of what I should do, like Cinderella. And I felt like I was just following along with everything like a robot, right? Controlled. And so to experience love and empathy and people who accepted me for who I am, 100% of who I am, um, that didn't happen until later. And it was such a better experience. And that experience gave me hope. And I wanted to grab life by the horns after that because I didn't have these experiences growing up. So I'm grateful for that family for giving me the opportunity and also for God for knowing the timing, the right timing to bring my path with theirs together. I wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to become some other things. Those are my goals. Um, but it didn't happen.
Yes. You know, you always have this shine about you. You know, I'm always, marveled about you're always smiling. You know, what keeps that smile? What keeps your frown upside down? You know, you had mentioned that, you found that sunshine. Is life still shining on you today?
Yes, because God rescued me from that time. I would have died at 12 or 13. I can't remember exactly what. I had a hard time breathing and I didn't think I would keep living. And now I'm walking and breathing and I'm just grateful. And I couldn't have done that without God, without His mercy, without the Holy Spirit taking over my body and breathing life into me and removing the people that harmed me. Um, Gave me the strength to speak up because I'm not typically that person that speaks up. I don't want to be harmed, but I don't want to harm others. And so I just take it all in. And finally, I spoke up in school one day. I refused to go to class. I said, I refuse to do this until this is taken care of. And they put a social worker in place, and that changed everything. And so I'm happy that I had the courage to speak up instead of continuing to hold it in because I don't know what my life would be like if I'd continue to do that.
You know, what advice would you give people that are going through something similar to what you went through?
Don't hold it in. It does not matter if it's big or small. Speak up. And and if you ask for help, someone will be there to provide that help. They will do it.
You know, some people, whatever they're going through, whether it be abuse or some sort of trauma, and then they kind of internalize it and blame themselves. But no, if you are a victim of something, please speak to someone.
Yes. I know it's not easy and it will take you a moment to finally get there and it's hard to have a social worker come in. I was a little child and I had a social worker come in and talk to me separately, so not in the same room where I would experience the threat, because sometimes we mask when we're in the same room with those that are posing threats to us. And so they were allowed to separate me and have a conversation about what was going on.
Thank you. Right. How to protect yourself. Different ways to inform people of what's going on, whether it's maybe like through art, through a conversation, y- whether it's cooking or whether you start dancing. You know, what is dancing about, for example? It's about experience. And like you, Kimberly, your experience is illustrated through your book. Is this your first? Have you published a book before?
This is my first book, believe it or not. Hey, my first one. There's always a first time for everything.
Am I expecting 150 plus pages?
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's great. I get to kind of get anchored into your book. That's awesome. You know, we, I mean, this book is not for the weary. And this story doesn't end just in this book. Who's your role model?
My role model. That's a hard one because I had many wonderful people that God has placed in my life. But I think one for sure would be my great grandmother, Vanvo, Portuguese. grew up with limited language, um, limited support and teaching tools, and I'm just amazed how she could do this. I won't go into too much details because that's also in the book. But how God made me who I am by putting these different people in my life, um, who really supported me through an awful journey. I'm grateful for that as well.
I cannot wait until I can read your book. So when are we expecting this book to be released?
It's coming out on June 9th.
Ooh, June 9th. Okay.
You can purchase the book through Amazon. Um, the price will be $16.99. There's also the ebook option for $4.99. Excuse me, interpreter $6.99, and the ebook option for $4.99. You can also contact me to buy the book directly from me.
I can get it straight from the source. I can get your autograph.
Yes,
Okay, if I get it from you, okay.
yes.
I mean, maybe you can, charge a little extra for you for a personal message. Yeah, you get people going all wild and crazy. I got your signature. I got a book with your that you dedicated to me. Thank you. You know, now we talk about healing. Maybe that's like a letter that you're writing to yourself, and a letter that somebody else out there can read about your family, about growth. You had mentioned that God had placed different people in your lives to get you to where you are today. Yes, which is fascinating because this is a perfect segue into the next segment of our show. So y'all know what time it is. It's Deaf Woke Name Those People game time. So what you can do is you have two options. You can if you know their name, or what they do in their life. You know, you ready?
I'm ready, I think. I might need some help.
Uh, Audience, she's a little nervous. This is a visual description, a picture of an African American male appears in his black cap and black beard with a goatee. He wears a black top with a white top under his trio pins in yellow, red, and green caps on his left med sleeved pocket. Who is he? What do you
Mm,
think he does for a living?
Marcus. Marcus. Oh,
Right. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Yes, this is Marcus Bryant. He's deaf from Orange County, is known as a deaf chef. Yeah, right. Deaf chef.
so cool.
Marcus owns a catering business, Chef Marcus Kitchen, Taco Licious. He's awesome. This is a visual description and a picture of an African American female appears in her mid-length black and highlighted brown locks. She wears a pair of silver small earrings with a short silver circle pendant necklace, a black jacket with a purple V-top, and a white top. Who is she?
Oh, this is a beautiful woman. What is her name? Anyone can help me? Help.
It looks like no audience participation just yet.
Oh my goodness. Antoine, do you know who? Come
We
on.
no. All right.
Yeah,
This is
no.
Deanna Swoop, deaf, native of Georgia, is a program manager for Bridge Deaf Advocacy Program. She works in the realm of domestic violence in the Georgia Coalition.
That's awesome.
It's a visual description of a picture of an African American female appears in her red, brown, twisted bun hairstyle. She wears a pair of gold earrings and a coral long sleeve blouse. Looks at the camera, folding her arms and smiling happily. Who is she?
Oh my goodness.
No?
Thinking
What do you think she does for a living?
I am in trouble now. I need to do my homework.
And this is Terry McMillan. Hearing, yep, an author herself, American novelist. She works in Waiting to Exhale and How Stella Got Her Groove Back, which is a movie that she was involved in, and currently living in Los Angeles.
Oh, cool. Fascinating.
There's a picture of an
Oh,
African
come
American male,
on.
appears in his black
Seriously?
short haircut and black trimmed beard mustache. He wears a black zippered leather opening jacket. Who is he?
Uh, I had to Google. I know he's a musician. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
What does he do for a living? Is he a writer?
I thought he was a musician.
Hey, there we go. Yeah.
John. Oh, come on. L. I was like, L, L, L. What?
Yeah. This is John Legend.
Yes. Oh, that handsome fella.
Do you have one? What do you have a favorite John Legend song?
Not really.
Yeah, he's an amazing musician. Has won a plethora of Grammy awards, Oscars, and Tony recognitions as well.
Oh, I don't know who this is.
I
No
don't know this
idea.
one either. Yeah, this is hard. This is hard. You got this one. I believe in you. This is a picture of African American male appears in his gray pulled back locks with a gray black beard who wears a diamond earring on his left ear. Who is he?
I'm not familiar with this person.
Yeah, this is my twin. It's my twin.
Your twin, okay. Wawa.
Your husband? Oh my God. Oh my God. Really?
Mm,
That's your husband? I didn't know that. Oh
yep,
my goodness. Same last name. Wow. What a coincidence. But yeah, Wawa's from Philadelphia, born and raised
yep.
in Pennsylvania. He was recently showcased on this Super Bowl halftime show. Did also the national anthem for Super Bowl in a prior year. He's a rapper, artist, um, and plus he's a musician. Uh, uh, does a lot of things, and he's awesome. He does a lot of sign language interpreting and rapping.
Hip hop,
Really
yep.
involved in like hip hop. Yeah, I didn't know that was your husband. This is a picture of an African American female, appears in her long black locks. She wears in her light makeup a pair of small silver earrings and white dress with no sleeves. She stands to pose, looks at the camera humbly. Who is she? She a musician?
No, she's an actress.
Actress. Okay.
She was in that
Mm,
movie. What is it called?
yeah, but you got it though. Yep, yep.
Yes, yes.
Yes. She was in a Marvel film called Eternals. This is Lauren Ridloff. Yep, she's an actress. She was on Walking Dead. Uh, yep, she was in the Marvel movie and film Eternals. I have a hard time watching it. She does pass away in the yeah.
Me too. Horror shows, I cannot.
She was also in a project called Children of a Lesser God on Broadway. This one's a hard one. This is a picture of African American male. Appears in his black low haircut. He wears a pair of black framed eyeglasses, a black trimmed mustache, and a black suit jacket with a black open collar blouse. Who is he?
No. Am I wrong? What?
Kimberly.
I'm
Come on.
failing. I'm
Nah,
failing.
you got it. You got it. This is Eddie Murphy.
Shame on me. How am I giving the wrong answers? Oh my God. People, I'm still learning.
I got you. You got it right. I try to confuse you a little bit. He's hearing from Brooklyn, writer, producer, and he also can sing. I don't know if you know that,
Interesting.
but he rose to fame in a sketch comedy show started Saturday Night Live, and was also a primary character and perform or movie called The Nutty Professor, where he took on several different characters. This is a picture of African American female appears in her long black thick full hair. She has some black eyeliner, rose blush on her high cheekbones, and a hot pink collar on her lips. Wears a white studded earring. And who is she?
D- Diana Ross?
Come on. Rolling, rolling. Oh,
Is
maybe
it
that was the wrong
Diana
person.
Ross?
I think that was the wrong person. I actually gave you the wrong hint to the to the wrong person.
I think to play it safe, I'm just not gonna answer. I'm gonna wait for the answer.
What do you think she does for a living? She's an actress. You want some audience help?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
audience, come on, give some of your feedback to Miss Kimberly.
That's what I thought. Diana Ross. Yeah, that's what I
Is it?
said. Okay, I'm feeling more confident.
Do you
My
agree with the
confidence wasn't
audience?
there. Yes, I
Okay.
agree. Okay,
Yes.
okay. I gotta believe in myself.
Yes, the Diana Ross. From Detroit, Michigan, American entertainer and actress. She rose to fame as the lead singer of a vocal group, The Supremes. She became Motown's most successful actor in the 1960s, and she's awesome. She's incredible. Last one. This is a picture of African American female stands holding the silver bar at the below and looking at the camera, smiling with a soft red lipstick on her lips. She wears in her black long braids that pull back from her beautiful face. Who is she?
This is Deaf Woman, McCaskill. McCaskill. I know I'm spelling the name wrong, but McCaskill. Read my lips. McCaskill.
Yes, this is Dr. Carolyn McCaskill.
Oh my God. I need to be taught some better education.
Yeah, she's a native Alabama career counselor, associate professor at Gallaudet, founding director, School of the Arts, and most known for co-authoring a book called "The Hidden Treasures of Black ASL." Dr. McCaskill has been involved in the Black deaf community in the United States of America. Y'all should definitely meet and hang out with one another.
We did. So there's no excuse for me not to know this. Oh my God. I gotta see. I gotta see. Congratulations to me.
Nah, A plus, just for participating. So we're nearing the end of our show. So this is the time for you, audience, to type your questions to Miss Kimberly. This is a segment of our show called "Ask Kimberly Anything."
Whoa. Ask me anything.
Uh,
Hold up.
the question is, how do we contact you directly through your email?
Preferably through Facebook. Facebook chat is the best way. And I'll be ready for the inundation of messages. I look forward to it.
Yeah, funny enough, here actually to answer your question regarding your social media and your Facebook, where you can find Miss Kimberly. It's her Facebook. It's at Kimberly dot Snipe. That's Kim as in Mary, Berly dot Snipe.
And don't be afraid, I won't bite you. Go ahead and type away.
Someone asked, "What's it like being married to a rapper?"
Well, it's never a dull moment. Thank God, we have music in the house to keep our marriage lively and exciting. That's it. I'll keep it that simple, period.
It's a question. Hi. When you use a ghostwriter, what is using a ghostwriter? Can you explain a little bit more right about that? A little bit more about that?
So the ghostwriter is a person that basically means you don't use their name. It's more they give you suggestions about the book. They might type some revisions in English and ask you a lot of questions like, can you explain on this part or explain more here? And then there's an exchange where you can say yes or no to their suggestions. But they don't get any credit. It's just someone who supports in the background secretly.
You also don't have to answer all of the questions or give a little bit. So if you can answer as much as you feel comfortable. How old am I?
How old do y'all think I am? Definitely not 99.
Here's a comment and statement. Congratulations on your book. I'm excited to read it. Now, what advice would you have for aspiring book writers?
Well, I would say follow your heart. Decide what story you want to share because once it's out there, you can't take it back. So choose your story wisely. Make sure that you have a great support team because they will help and motivate you. There will be days where you want to give up and not continue with the book. So you need your support team. You need a great publisher as well.
Oh, thank you so much for giving that explanation about the ghostwriter.
Sure,
Are your
anytime.
do you are your children deaf?
Sometimes I think they are probably screaming and screaming and they never come. They rather communicate through text. Hi, honey, it's time to eat. But they're all hearing codas.
Oh, codas, yeah. Okay. Here's a question. Do you think you'll write another book?
That's a good question. My children ask me that as well, and I'm on the fence. Well, let's see how this book goes first, and then ask me in 5 years. I don't know.
Yeah. Was the
Yes,
name these people game hard? Huh?
yes, it was a learning experience.
Exactly. That's the reason why I put this segment into the show. Black History Month is not just standard to February. It's every day.
Right.
I have different people on. I have showcased different individuals in the Black community and learning something new about our history.
I bet you're gonna sit down with my husband and you guys are gonna talk about this show. I'm like, tell me about this.
There's a comment that don't have access to displaying on the banner. What was the? I think the question from the audience is, how did you prepare yourself for writing the book? Did you rely on prayer? Eating, music? What was it that you relied on?
For me, it was a lot of chocolate, and I love Starbucks. I sent my husband to get me Starbucks so many times. Like, I'm sure they have a ton of our money, because I would stay up many nights, and then I would also have classes, so I was juggling a lot.
Typically, when was the best time for you to write your book? Was it when your kids were sleeping, early in the morning? Yeah, it was. The best time to write the book was when my kids were sleeping. I had a lot of things I was juggling. I had to go to school. Obviously, I have kids to take care of. So I had my normal duties. And so I just kind of had to lock myself in during the time. I had to dedicate myself to this time, and I had to make sure set up that boundary. So like and Antoine saying, yeah, you had to lock yourself in that bathroom.
Yes, I
Here's a
did.
Yeah, here's a question. What is your favorite Bible scripture or verse and why?
My favorite verse is actually in my tattoo. It is Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6, that says, "Trust in the Lord your God and lean not on your own understanding." And so that really applies to my life because I didn't understand why the darkness was happening in my life, but I had to trust God and everything worked out beautifully.
It's a question. Do you have other hobbies you like to do for fun or self-care?
Yes, I like to go to hot baths or spas and really blanket knitting, walking, traveling, chatting with my girlfriends and drinking wine. That fellowship part, I love it.
Are you a red wine or a white wine person?
I'm a white wine Moscato. Red can, not so much red.
There's a statement Starbucks needs to sponsor you. Yes.
Come on.
There's a statement. I can't wait to purchase your book. I'm so proud of you. It's not easy, I'm sure.
Yes, I agree. But I am really looking forward to seeing, my part is done and everything that God has gave me to put forth in this book. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this message touches your lives and hearing your sides of the story. And I'm really curious and looking forward to that part.
Me too. Me too.
I guess people are busy drinking their Starbucks. Hello out there.
I just think people are taken back with your story. They're digesting your this interview, and maybe taking in that Bible verse. They're probably doing some research themselves about it. I really believe you're moving people. You're a visual blessing, and it's a blessing to have your presence here. Understanding your journey and where you're going and where you came from. And I think really people are driven to just go get that book. So come out June 9th or 19th. Oh, 9th. June
June
9th.
9th.
Please go purchase Kimberly's book on Amazon or maybe in direct or directly through Kimberly.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
so you can DM Kimberly on her Facebook at Kimberly.Snipe. Make sure you don't forget the dot. It's KIMBLY. BERLY.SNIPE. Kimberly, I really thoroughly enjoyed this time that we've had today. Being vulnerable is no walk in the park. You're giving a voice to other people who aren't yet ready or know how, or maybe resistant to speaking up.
Yes, I agree.
So our show is coming to an end. And so, do you have any final thoughts, something burning inside of you that you want to let the people know? It could be whatever it is that you want.
I want, let's see, closing thoughts is let the Messiah to use your mess for his message. Every one of you are unique and you have a story. And don't let people damage who you are or look down on you. Speak up. Be bold about who you are. You are unique, you are loved, and you are cherished. Period.
Wow. I want to underscore again. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm so honored to be here. Like, you picked me. Oh,
Yeah, of course. Maybe you'll come back after your book's released. Hey, maybe you can tell us how
maybe.
that experience is going.
Positively thinking. Much love.
All right. I'll catch you later.
Bye.
That was Kimberly, y'all. Whew. Our discussion today about growing up and facing challenges and having a dream, and that it's there. That dream is a light, and everyone has a place. And like Kimberly said, have that commitment, because God had a dream and a gift for Kimberly, and we all have something to give to the world. And whatever you believe in, do something worth being in this world. It's up to you. Go get it. Claim it, and accept who you are. There are no limits. It's already there. It's basically yours. You just got to grab it. And then when you're ready, learn how to use that gift. What we learned today from Kimberly, having opening up and kind of just revealing yourself is not easy, but you are a shining light. Whether it's your family, who you are, what you're trying to connect. And it's like Miss Kimberly in her life. It's no dull moment. There's going to be ups and downs, tribes and tribulations. But you deserve to be alive. You deserve to be happy. And you deserve to speak up. And you deserve to bring and capture that light and to give that life. Kimberly is definitely woke and a representation of what hashtag Deaf Woke is. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Kimberly. Thank you to the interpreters, the audience, Drop Labs, and of course you, those who are watching. Understand that if you would love to see Deaf Woke continue, more episodes in the future, if you have the means to please donate to keep Deaf Woke alive at hashtag www.urban jazz dance company. Now, come on. Let me see my likes. Let me see my hearts. Come on. Come on. You know, every each time I bring on a guest like or related to Kimberly, it's a special moment. I feel like I'm waking up more. I feel like I'm digging deeper into myself. And so until next time, I'm Antoine Hunter PurpleFireCrow. This is an episode of hashtag Deaf Woke. Peace, love. I'm out. Now let's go ahead and jam out together. Where's my music at? Y'all ready to join? Ready to jam?